Welcome to another answer and rebuttal by Dan Mason. Today's statement that I am responding to goes like this. Indeed, I'm a rational thinker, and not all atheists are rational thinkers. Same with you. I bet you don't agree with the fundamentalistic Christians of Germany during WW2. Christian teachings have been changed after WW2, no longer blaming the Jews anymore for the crucifixion of Jesus. So here we go. Your argument makes a broad generalization about fundamental Christians, which is both historically inaccurate and logically flawed. Let's address the key points in your statement and clarify the distinctions between individual belief systems and historical contexts. 1. Misrepresentation of fundamental Christians and Hitler. The assertion that all fundamental Christians supported Hitler or shared his ideology is blatantly incorrect. Fundamental Christianity is rooted in the literal interpretation of the Bible, focusing on personal salvation, faith in Jesus Christ, and adherence to biblical teachings. There is no biblical basis for supporting the atrocities that occurred during WW2, including the Holocaust. In fact, many Christians, including Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a well-known Protestant pastor and theologian, actively opposed Hitler and paid for it with their lives. Bonhoeffer was executed for his role in a plot to assassinate Hitler. Hitler's regime manipulated religious and political ideologies to suit its agenda. While there were individuals and groups that co-opted Christianity to justify anti-Semitism, it is essential to recognize that these views do not represent the teachings of Christ or the fundamental beliefs of the Christian faith. Fundamental Christians, like all believers, can be found across a spectrum of political and ethical views, and it's a mistake to lump all Christians into one monolithic category. 2. Christianity post-WW2 and Jewish relations. After WW2, many Christian denominations re-examined their historical positions regarding the Jewish people. This led to significant theological shifts, especially in how Christians understood the relationship between the crucifixion of Jesus and the Jewish people. The idea that Jews were collectively responsible for the death of Jesus, known as deicide, was rejected by many mainstream Christian denominations. For example, the Catholic Church's Nostra Aetate, 1965, formally rejected the idea of Jewish culpability for Jesus' death and promoted dialogue and reconciliation with Jewish communities. These changes do not represent a fundamental alteration of Christian doctrine, but rather a clarification of historical misunderstandings. The New Testament explicitly states that Jesus' crucifixion was part of God's redemptive plan for humanity, and it holds all of humanity responsible for sin, not just one group. Therefore, any interpretation that blames a specific people group for the death of Jesus misrepresents biblical teachings. 3. Rational thinking and atheism. You state that you are a rational thinker and suggest that not all atheists are rational thinkers. This is an important point. Being an atheist does not automatically equate to rational thinking, just as being a Christian or of any other faith does not automatically make one irrational. Rational thinking is a method of approaching problems and ideas using reason, evidence, and logic, and it can be applied by both theists and atheists alike. 2. Dismiss someone's beliefs based solely on their religious or non-religious affiliation is an example of ad hominem reasoning, which undermines the rationality of an argument. Similarly, just as you acknowledge that not all atheists think rationally, it is important to extend this understanding to Christians and other groups. Many fundamental Christians apply rational thinking to their faith, combining spiritual belief with scientific inquiry and critical thinking. The notion that Christianity and rational thought are mutually exclusive is a false dichotomy. 4. Misleading assumptions about Christian teachings. You claim that Christian teachings have been changed after WW2. While certain aspects of Christian social teachings have evolved, such as the relationship with Jewish communities, the core tenets of Christianity, the belief in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, his resurrection, and salvation through faith, have not changed. These beliefs remain the same across time and space. It's essential to distinguish between theological developments and changes in societal attitudes. Post-WW2, changes in Christian attitudes toward Jews were based on new understandings of historical context and biblical interpretation, not a fundamental alteration of Christian doctrine. Conclusion. Your argument against fundamental Christians conflates individuals' beliefs during Tapitautethund with the overall teachings of Christianity. Not all fundamental Christians supported Hitler, and many opposed him. Furthermore, Christian teachings after Wabur clarified the relationship with Jewish communities without altering the core of Christian doctrine. Rational thinking is a method that can be employed by both theists and atheists, and dismissing someone's perspective based solely on their religious identity is not a rational approach. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will see you in the comments.